Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, market statistics time. So these market statistics are for Hillsborough County for February 2021. Now you're probably asking yourself, Kyle, I've watched some previous videos. You look like you're in a different place, and we are. So you remember last month we were from Studio B, which was the beach house. Currently, this is Studio RS for Ruskin. So we are currently, our house is still flooded, the house in Shore Acres, and I have been putting together a flood video. So if you're interested in flooding, flood insurance, or how all that process works, be sure to check that out. But we're here just kind of taking it easy, living the country life for a little bit. We still have our house in St. Petersburg, but I gotta say, this place is pretty cool. Some of the other videos, I think I'm going to show some of the features around here. Now, second question you're probably asking yourself is, why are we looking at February numbers when we're in March? And the reason why is because the local board of realtors do take a little bit of time to put together the market statistics, typically about 20 days. If you would like your own copy of these numbers, please feel free to click the link below, sign up. I'll make sure you get a copy of these every month if you would like to keep track of kind of what's going on in the market. And also, your third question, yes, I am trying a little bit of a different microphone technique here. We'll see how it goes. Other thing to know with these statistics is that they are for February 2021. And they are comparing February 2020. So that February 2020, if you can remember that far back, that is before the pandemic really took off. So we're still comparing current pandemic numbers to kind of pre-pandemic numbers. And some of the percentages in here are pretty crazy. I'm kind of curious to see over the next few months what it's going to look like as we start getting into April, May, to see how our comparison holds up versus pandemic numbers. So without further ado, let's jump into these market statistics. These numbers are for Hillsborough County, February 2021. So the overarching theme here is that there's no homes for sale, basically. However, demand has held, and that is pretty much true across all price points. So the number of closed sales has climbed 7.3% from 1,505 homes last year to 1,615 homes this year. So you might remember that in math class, your averages and your medians. So average is where you have, let's say, 5 houses. You add the price of those 5 houses together and then divide by 5, and that is your average. Median is a little bit different. Let's say that you have 15 homes. The median price is going to be where half of them sold for more and half of them sold for less. And that does kind of move around a little bit. Personally, I do like the median home price a little bit more. It just seems a little bit less volatile. Averages can be pulled pretty strongly if there was a surge in higher priced homes or a surge in low priced homes. But the median sales price really seems to it's a little bit more steady Eddie, I guess you could say. So the median sales price for Hillsborough County for February 2021 climbed 17.8% from $258,900 to $305,000. That is almost a 20% increase in 12 months. That is very significant. Average sales price climbed 17.3% from $317,000 to $372,000. Again, very significant, almost $20,000. Almost a 20% increase. That is, again, very significant. Total dollar volume, this is every single family home that had sold in February 2021. When you add all those up, what's it look like? That climbed 25.9% from $478 million to $601 million. So we went from under $1 billion to way over $500 million in 1 month sold. So that should tell you that demand has continued to increase compared to February 2021. Median time to contract, which is how long a home stays on the market before it goes under contract, dropped 70.3% from 37 days to 11 days. That is staggering. That is 70, almost 70. It's almost 75% faster from 37 days to 11 days. That's under 2 weeks. The median time to contract, just crazy. The number of new listings, which previous months we had actually seen a little bit of an uptick on the number of new listings, but unfortunately we're back to the previous trend now of less. So number of new listings dropped 13.4% from 1,938 to 1,678 new listings for sale. And then active listings, which is the total number of homes for sale. And this is the one that's really moving the market currently. That is down 62.3% from 3,695 homes to 1,392 homes. That is bananas. Man, that is a crazy number. We had been hanging around like 50%. We had like 1 or 2 months there where we were only down 40%. And I was like, well, maybe the tide's turning. Maybe people are feeling a little bit more comfortable and they're back to wanting to sell their house. We're down 62.3%. There's 62.3% fewer houses for sale in February 2021 than there were in February 2020. That is all you need to know to understand what's going on in the market currently. Now, I do like to break down some of the price points here, just so you can see what's happening in different price brackets. Because, the luxury segment, 600, 700,000, 1 million and above, they do sell on a little bit different timeline than, like $100,000, $200,000 houses. So a lot of these numbers are a little artificial. On the surface, it looks like it should be a lot easier to buy a more expensive house. But what's actually happened is the home prices have increased, so there's a large number of homes that have moved up to the next bracket, to the point where, honestly, I think they should probably get rid of the 0 to 50 and the 50 to 100 bracket and basically just put that in a 0 to 150 bracket. So if you're on the Florida Realtors, whoever makes that decision, and you're watching this video, please make that change. Make these a little bit more useful now. Plus, like 600 to 1 million, that covers a very large stretch of area. And there are twice as many homes in that bracket than there are between 0 and 150. So there were no homes for less than 50,000 sold in Hillsborough County in February 2021. That's the first thing to know. 50 to 100,000, there was 46.4% fewer houses sold for a total of 15. 150 to 200,000, this is a big one. So if you're in that 150 to 200 market, there was 61.4 fewer percent houses sold, a total of 76. And then once you hit like 250, we actually see more houses for sale. And that's, again, just because the houses have slid up into a new tax bracket. So 250 to 300 is up 23.4% to 348. 400 to 600 is up 59.4% to 263. And 600 to 1 million is up 60.9% to 103. Median time to contract across all price points is down. It's just a question of how much, but they are all down basically 70, 80%. Man. So $200 to $250,000 is down 76.5% to 8 days. So median house in the 200 to 250 price point, the median house is under contract in 8 days. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Inventory by current prices are, again, down across the board. 50 to 100,000 is down 67% to 11. 100 to $150,000 is down 67.8% to 38. 300 to 400,000 is down 62.2% for a total of 288 homes. And it keeps going. 400 to 600 is down 60.1. Even $1 million and more is down 32.5% compared to last year, for a total of 166 homes for sale. So you take all that together, So we have over 60% fewer homes for sale, but we're selling more homes than ever. And that is the reason why prices have skyrocketed 17% in the last 12 months. That just staggering numbers. Last page here is what I like to call the doom and gloom page. So what this is foreclosures and short sales. Those of you out there might know that have watched previous videos know that we have had a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures. If it was related to the pandemic, and honestly, even with the courts being backed up, everything is just pretty massively delayed. So I don't give a lot of weight to these numbers just because they are artificially suppressed. Now, the number of foreclosures and short sales that it would take to offset those inventory numbers, like hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands, you would need thousands of them to offset those inventory numbers and to chew through that demand. Is that the case? I'm not one to say that something is impossible. I think it's very unlikely, especially because the surrounding economic numbers have not been that bad. Obviously, I know there's a lot of people out of work, but in general, the economy is still doing okay considering what's been happening with the pandemic and all that. So, grain of salt on all these. Once the moratorium is lifted, I will, of course, be keeping an eye on this just to see what it does. So the number of foreclosures in Hillsborough County is down 73.3% from 45 foreclosures in February 2020 is down to 12 in February 2021. The number of short sales is actually up 75%, which sounds terrifying until you realize that is an increase from 4 to 7, which in the grand scheme of things, currently not that big of a deal. Now, I definitely will be keeping an eye on those numbers. Obviously, if something changes, I will be sure to let you know. So this is probably the first time that I don't do my daily listings, and that's because honestly, the utility of that the time for that has come and gone because I know what the market's doing. There is literally nothing out there for sale, and that is not changing anytime soon. Seeing active listing numbers this low basically means that this market trend is going to continue. And I know the question everyone is asking is, how long can this continue? There's no way that houses can be this expensive for too much longer. Everyone has lost their mind. Who's paying all this money? And the truth is that nobody knows. And I am not really one to make predictions. I am one to observe what the market is doing and advise you that if this trend continues, then this is what's to be expected. The number of homes that we would need to offset the low inventory is significant. And the one that most people want to point to is the number of foreclosures and the moratorium. The honest truth is that if there are that many foreclosures, we are going to have some additional major problems, major economic problems. And the unfortunate thing is that when you have those significant economic problems, lenders typically tighten up their lending and are not as willing to lend money for houses. So the reason why after the Great Recession, why home prices dropped, first of all, they didn't drop overnight. Everyone's always like, oh, I'm going to wait until the market falls out. The honest truth is that real estate moves slowly. People didn't wake up in 2008 and decide to sell their house for half of what they had paid for it 3 years previously. Natural human reaction is to hold out and to try to sell your house for as much money as possible. So it took literally 5 years to slide from the time all of the financial institutions collapsed till the low point. It was 5 years. And the reason why it slid was not because everyone believed houses were overpriced. The reason why they slid is because there was a surplus of homes for sale because nobody could get a loan. And the only people that could really capitalize on it were the ones that had a ton of cash. To get a loan during that period, you had to have immaculate credit and credit history and a sizable down payment. And even with that, it was still tough. If there was anything even marginally borderline. So just keep that in mind if you're hoping for a crash. The simple truth is that this trend is going to continue for as long as the pandemic is in effect. So the sooner we can get everybody vaccinated and get everything back to normal, the sooner that the real estate market should at least cool down a little bit. Tampa Bay honestly has had a major change in that we are now on the world stage. Tons of people in the country want to move and live here. Close to the beach, relatively low cost of living, and the homes are relatively affordable compared to places like New York, San Francisco. But to be completely honest, I do believe that the days of low cost housing here in the Tampa Bay area, like we would have to have some major issues happen to start to see regularly homes in the $150,000 to $100,000 range. I think that the perception of the Tampa Bay area has changed too much for that to become a viable option again. And for a little bit of a comparison, to me, that would be like thinking or wanting to wait for real estate in San Francisco to drop back down to, $200,000 homes. Like it's just, it's not set up to ever do that anytime soon. So I wanted to thank you for tuning in for these real estate market statistics. I try to do one of these every month or two. We seem to be in a new trend here now, so I definitely keep an eye on these numbers, make sure that holds up. If I see anything that starts to be concerning, I will, of course, let you know. Be sure to subscribe and to fill out that form via the contact link below if you want to stay up to the date on market statistics. I also do some other fun stuff, some giveaways and all that good stuff. Like I said, if you want to learn about flood insurance and my current experience with a flood claim, be sure to check those videos out. And if you are interested in finding your own great home in Tampa Bay, I would love to help you out. And again, just that contact form below or leave me a comment. I will be happy to get in touch with you and see how I can help. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.